How many of you are familiar with addiction? It runs thick in my family. My grandfather shot himself in the head on the toilet. He was an alcoholic. We have a lot of alcoholism and a lot of drug addiction in our family history. And I have a feeling that's what I just lost my older daughter to. Now, I can't say that for sure, but our relationship had become random phone calls in the middle of the night and emergency phone calls. She'd show up here all beat up and sick, and I'd nurse her back to health, and off she'd go. Poor thing. I've told you before, I'm a codependent, and I've also had my struggles with alcohol and drugs. I was really too chicken to do anything too heavy, but I did enough damage. I tend to hang around people with those types of personalities because that's what codependents do. That's what people do in general. We tend to do what we know. My goal was to break that chain. I wasn't going to be an alcoholic. I wasn't going to be a drug addict. My poor daughter. She tried to get clean so many times. And I could only help her so much. When you're mom, there's only so much you can do. Ah. Anyway, coping mechanisms that people learn throughout their lives are not always the healthiest. And that 12-step program, if it's done correctly, is a beautiful program. Sadly, all the years I've been involved in that program, which were a lot of years, I've moved around a lot, but every city I lived in, I was in a recovery program like that for years. Except for Utah. That's a weird story. They had closed meetings, but they were really weird about it. They were scared to death that anybody find out. Mostly Mormon in that valley, so that was too weird. I couldn't deal with that. And then I got cancer. I got taken out by drugs anyway. It's not addiction that we go through. It's dependence with these drugs. And unfortunately, the world treats it like addiction. Very different. They are two very different things. If you treat dependence like addiction, you will cause damage like I am experiencing right now. Maybe not as severe. Maybe. You will experience some kind of damage. No, I'm not a doctor. I've just been in this for 6 years now. Forever Windows voyeurs. Hopefully someday they'll wake up. Until then, we just gotta stay out of the way, huh?